Hey y'all, welcome back to the Roads Less Traveled. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about these night vision binoculars by Wosports. Alright y'all, so Wosports sent me these binoculars to review. That being said, it's still going to be an honest and thorough review, just like always. Let's just kind of jump into some of the specs on the box. This is the NV400. It has a digital zoom of 1 to 8 times. An optical zoom of 1 to 10 times. It's supposed to work for greater than or equal to 10 hours. Storage type is on a micro SD card. It also records video, and the video format is AVI with a few different quality. You have 720p, 1080p at 30 frames per second, 2K at 20 frames per second, and 4K at 10 frames per second. There's a few different photo resolutions here from 3 to 16. The infrared power is 3 watt. The infrared wavelength is 850 nanometers. And it has the size and weight information here. I'm really excited. These binoculars actually have the capability to record 4K video. And I can't wait to test that out and see how good it is. But let's go ahead and let's just dive in here and get this box opened up and see what they came with. Oh man. So, right off the bat here, we have our instruction manual right on the top. And then a really nice case these binoculars come in. I wasn't expecting something this nice. It's got a carrying handle on it. It's a kind of a hard-sided cloth case. It seems like it's really high quality. Let's open that up. And there's quite a few more goodies inside here. Let's take a look in our top pouch first. Looks like we got a 32 gig micro SD card. We have a warranty card and information on contact and support. Another warranty card, the QR code, and a lens cleaning cloth. And then over on the other side with the main binoculars, we've got a USB to USB-C charging cable. And then the binoculars themselves, and a lanyard, which fell out. Let's take and get this protective coating off these binoculars and take a look at them. So there they are. Mine are the green ones, and they look pretty cool. I'm really anxious to try these things out and see how they work. I've never used night vision binoculars before. I don't know. I'm just curious to see how they're going to work out. I'm going to go ahead and get all the protective film off of them. Got one on each lens on the front. Then on the inside here, you've got another piece of protective film. So I can't see anything through them without powering them on. So let's go ahead and power on. So I just held down the power button. Now then I can see through there and see the Wosports dialog. Now we're to be able to look and see. So I can see. And then to focus is this little slider bar that's closest to me. Okay, I kind of got ahead of myself there a little bit. How about we just go ahead and let's get our micro USB card installed, get our lanyard on it, and then we'll see if we can get this sucker figured out. All right, y'all, so I've consulted my manual here a little bit, try to understand what these keys are on the binoculars. So the very top button is your power button. So obviously you use that you can hold that to power on, power off. Then you have this up arrow. This button does a few different things. It says in video recording mode, long press zooms in, or the short press turns on and adjusts the brightness of the infrared lights. When the infrared level is 1, you can do a short press, turn off the infrared. And then in playback mode, it works just like a scroll arrow. The down arrow works the exact same in reverse. So in video mode, you can long press to zoom out, short press, turn on and adjust the brightness infrared. And when it's at 7, a short press will turn it off. So just click, click. and then it works as an arrow in playback menu mode. Power button is long press, turn it on and off. The M menu mode, you use a short press to switch between photo, video, and playback, and a long press to enter the menu settings. The OK button, the one in the middle, that is how you will either take a picture, start, stop recording, or in playback mode to start, stop a video, or while in menu mode to select something. So I'm just gonna power this thing on and I'm just gonna record a little bit. You have your different focus options over here. So this is how you focus, and this is your zoom in and out. And on this side, you have a dial for your levels of infrared, so from far to near. I'm not gonna mess so much with the infrared right now because it's still light outside, but I would like to just kind of get in here and just kind of get used to how it operates, maybe get some basic video footage from the binoculars. So let's power it on and get started. So I just went into my menu settings. I'm going to change some resolutions. I'm going to set my movie size to 4K. You can set a date, time. What's today's date? Okay, so I got my date and time set just by using the OK button and the arrows. You can adjust your LCD backlight. Date and time tag is on. Language, frequency, power saving, format your SD card. You can go to default settings and you can do a software update, see your version information, and you can contact us. So those are all of your settings. I'm going to try to show the camera what it looks like in there, how well you're able to see that. But those are all of your settings and the menu that you can work through to adjust those settings. So now that I have my menu adjusted and I'm on 4K video, I just want to take some sample videos real quick. Just say OK. Now we're recording. And I can adjust my focus. Here's some critters somewhere. See if I can find them. This cherry tree right here has got some wild cherries on it. That's pretty cool. Get some video of that. I was trying to find a bird or something, but I don't see where they went. There's a hummingbird. He's too fast for me. So from within this menu, so what I should be able to do to enter the infrared is just click the down arrow. And there you go. It says it's too bright. And that went back, so I'll press the up arrow. So press the down arrow, we can jump back in. So you're down and up are how you change, and you just toggle through to go back. So again, it's way too bright out here. Again, it's way too bright out here to be using the infrared, but I'm just kind of trying to get a hang of these things. And I mean, it's pretty user friendly to operate once you understand how the buttons work. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to take these things in over the course of the next few days or week. I'm just going to take them with me. I'm going to use them, try to use them at night, get some sample footage, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it and kind of see what I think about how they've been working. I'll throw some sample videos up and y'all can form your own conclusions. There was one more thing in that package I didn't realize. This looks like this is actually a USB memory card reader. That is actually pretty handy. I can always use a spare one of those for all these videos and stuff. So I appreciate you, Wosports, for including that. That is wasn't something you had to include, but it's a big help, and I appreciate it. All right, y'all. I've been using these night vision binoculars on and off for a couple weeks now, and I think I've used them enough to kind of form some opinions. First off, I was able to use the night vision capability when it was actually night, and I gotta admit, it is pretty sweet to be able to use these things and look like you're just, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's daytime because it is infrared, but still, I mean, you can clearly see, you know, in pitch black, and that is pretty sweet. I managed to capture some footage of some deer just back behind my house, and it worked great. Having the video capability is also pretty cool. I mean, it's basically just like having some normal binoculars, and you can take some video, you know. I mean, I can think of several times over the years, you know, whether I'm hunting and I'm looking at some deer off in the distance, or maybe I'm scouting and I'm looking at something. If I could have recorded what I was seeing and be able to go back and review that later, that would have been pretty sweet. There were a few other things I noticed during the course of using these. Number one, during the time that I've been using them, it's been super hot and humid out, and I've had a pretty bad issue with the lens inside binoculars fogging up. Now that could just be because of the weather we've been having, but having that, you know, protective shield around your eyes and holding that up, you know, almost like a sealed, you know, it basically makes a seal around your face, and what's happening is just fogging up. So I'm having to, you know, hold them further away from my face or make sure I take a break for it to air out every now and then. Another thing I will say is I do not think this is a replacement for your regular binoculars. As cool as they are and as well as they work, you know, for the right application, I do think they're not good at being fast. You know, with regular binoculars, if you see something in the distance, maybe a deer and it's running, or you need to be able to see something quickly, you can just throw those things up and you can see it. With these, the problem you're going to run into is it just takes time to, one, power them on, make sure your settings are right. You have to zoom in with that zoom dial, and then you have to get your focus right. And it's a little bit more fiddle factor than with your traditional, you know, binoculars. So because of that, I just want to make sure everyone understands that this is not a perfect replacement for those binoculars. However, what they are they're for someone who wants a set of night vision binoculars, because they do that really well, but you can also use them as regular binoculars in a pinch. Or maybe you really want to be able to have the video capability, because that is pretty cool. I mean, to be able to go back and review what you've seen, you may pick up on something you missed in the moment. You know, say you're looking at a herd of deer, you know, in the moment you may only focus on one or two, but if you're able to record that, you can go back and really take a better look at everything within that viewing area. Another thing just to note, and this probably isn't really a con, because I don't think anyone is going to buy these binoculars for this reason, but the audio is not great. It's there, it's existent, but it's just very poor. And I mean, like I said, I don't really think that should be considered a knock, because that's not what this device is meant to do. It's not meant to capture perfect audio. It's not a camcorder. It's night vision binoculars that have the capability to take video. So let's just take a second and let's talk about something that all of you need to check into before you go out and buy these, especially if you're planning on using them for hunting or viewing wildlife. You know, make sure you check your state regulations. Some states do not allow night vision for viewing game at all, especially in a hunting scenario. I mean, you know, first off, hunting deer at night is a big no-no. You know, maybe if you're a raccoon hunter or predator hunter or something like that, then you can use these in the hunting environment. For me, you know, looking at deer, scouting at night and driving by, that seems very intriguing, and I like the idea of being able to do that and feel like I could take advantage of some time that traditionally I wouldn't be able to scout, you know. But is that going to be considered legal everywhere? I don't think so. It's kind of a gray area, you know. I'm not going to get into the exact regulations. Y'all can check into that for yourself. But obviously in my state, spotlighting is definitely illegal. Even for just viewing deer, it's illegal. However, people are using thermal drones to look at deer at night in a non-hunting setting. You know, I mean, there's all sorts of companies that are using thermal drones for, you know, habitat or game surveys at night. They're using them to track wounded deer. So it's kind of a gray area. I'm just being honest. Y'all make sure you do your own research into this, into your own state regulations. That being said, the scouting for deer at night is a huge, huge benefit and perk to me, if it's legal. Let me just start there, if it's legal. But can you imagine a set scenario where you drive by a field on, you know, whether it's private, public, wherever, and you can just throw the binoculars up and look out the window and see if there's deer in there, and be able to zoom in and potentially identify a target buck. You know, a lot of times if you're hunting big deer, the very first challenge is just knowing that deer exists. So having these is a great way to get out and cover a lot of ground at night and potentially find proof of life on a big, massive deer. And again, I've hit on this many times, but having that ability to record that video at night is just a huge perk, because you can go back and review that later and no telling what you can see. You know, you can prove to your buddies or your hunting partners or whoever that, hey, I seen this big deer and here's evidence. You might not want to tell them where it was, but you can at least show off and say that you're on a big deer, and they're going to believe you if you have a video to prove it. All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this one. Huge shout out to Wosports for sending me these binoculars. They're pretty cool. If y'all are interested in checking them out for yourself, be sure to check in the description below. I'll leave a link, a discount code if I have one. Appreciate you for watching. Hope you all have a blessed day, and remember, take the roads less traveled.